Hello and welcome to Spirit Via. Today's reading is going to be a check-in reading for the virus for the C0v. You know, you gotta censor yourself because nowadays they'll take your video down. So a viewer of mine recommended or requested that I do a reading on it. They had a few questions and then I added some of my own questions in here. So let's just go ahead and do a quick check-in about what's going on with this. All right. Anything said during this reading is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. If you want to book a reading with me or shop my handmade gemstone jewelry, my link is in the description box. So let's go ahead and get started. So show me the energy of the virus. What's going on? That's when I split the deck. The star's upright. So it's looking like things are improving. You know, it may not look like it. Kind of popped out like that. King of Cups reversed. But what was I saying? Oh, the star. It looks like things are improving. And what I'm being drawn to is just the nature in the image of the star. So what I'm hearing is endemic. We're going into the endemic phase, is what I'm hearing. And give me one more card. With this Seven of Cups, what I'm being drawn to is like this, I don't even know what this is in the middle. I thought it was a mushroom. I'm sorry, I don't know what that is, but what it's making me think of now, like going into this endemic phase, it's kind of been put on the back burner because we're so worried about all this stuff up here. It's just another thing that's been added to the list at this point. It's not something that's at the forefront of our attention right now. Because what I am saying, because the phase, the shifting, it's like there's a shifting with the virus where now to where, like, since it isn't killing as many people, allegedly, I don't know why I just had to say that, but I have to be careful. But since not as many people are dying and it's going into the endemic phase, it's not as deadly. So therefore, we don't have our attention on it as much anymore. What I am hearing too is that we're more so worried about we're seeing the after effects of the virus. And what's really, what popped into my head was the airlines. Issues with travel is what I'm hearing. Not just because of people getting COVID, but just a shifting in the employment demographics, period. Because when the pandemic was at its height, the airlines were laying off people and letting people retire. Okay, you let all these people retire, but now you don't have enough people, you know, to replace them. So it was like they jumped the gun on that. And then King of Cups reverse talks about just people just feeling like overwhelmed. People are really over it. And like, honestly, like I respect nature. I respect this virus. I respect everything, right? But I just feel like people just don't care anymore. They're like, okay, you got COVID. Okay, you still coming into work, right? Because of how the virus has shifted. So that's what I'm getting. I'm getting that it's not like a concern anymore. It's like a cold now. That people are treating it like a cold now. Because of the nature of it has changed. Right. So one of my viewers from New York, she had a question. I don't know their gender, I'm sorry. They had a question asking about the New York vaccine mandates. So let's see, let's ask a question about that. Let's see. Let's pull cards on the vaccine mandates for New York. Four of Pentacles, to me, they're gonna stay. You see how this is the government holding on to the mandates for dear life. So if you're in New York, I don't see them ending anytime soon. I'm sorry, but I'm not seeing them. Maybe not until next year. Pentacles is years. So there may be an update, but like I'm saying, it's like this is the government of New York and they're really holding on to the mandate. I'm seeing it standing. Things can change, but I don't see anything changing for a long time. Give me cards to show the long-term effects of COVID, of the virus. What's the long-term effects of the virus? Six of Swords. To me, that's talking about, it's like a long journey of recovery. Like people are not recovering as fast as they think it is. People are expected to go ahead and come into work, but I'm seeing some long-term effects. Like a long time. The Lovers, what's bringing me into mind is the nature around them. So there could be issues with people and their allergies, maybe their sinuses long term, maybe an increase or in a likelihood or of sinus infections. Also, this could be talking about reproductive issues. That's what I'm hearing. Vitamin D deficiencies, possibly. I'm drawn into the sun. I thought of vitamin D. This is all alleged entertainment purposes only. That's what I pulled up. And then Seven of Pentacles. That's that again is talking about the long-term effects. So to me, this is a confirmation that there are long-term effects on the body when it comes to the virus, but it's going to have to be studied way more. What I just thought of is in this picture, you see you have the bush right here, but it reminded me of someone digging a grave. So they could already, or they should study the deceased bodies, because it's like he buried someone right there. That's what it's looking like with the I know this isn't a shovel, but that's what came to mind when I looked at this. But there needs to be more studies when it comes to the long-term effects, because there are plenty. But you know, I feel like they're not really gonna put what they need to put into it, because then they have to admit that a lot of people need more assistance, like financial assistance. People are gonna have to be compensated or get on disability for this. And a lot of issues that that people don't think that are COVID, that are virus related, are virus related. For example, someone could be all of a sudden be dealing with high blood pressure, diabetes, vitamin deficiencies all of a sudden when they were healthy before. And now, like after they got sick, now they have to deal with all these health issues, but they're not linking it to the virus, because if they do that, then people will be going in to apply for disability. And if you watch my economy reading, there's no money for that. So yeah, it wouldn't bode too well. There have been studies made. I believe this was in either Iran or Afghanistan. I'm not sure, but somewhere in the Middle East, they were doing a study about the effects of the virus on the male genitalia, because a lot of men were reporting that they could no longer get it up. And some men in the US were reporting this as well, because I saw two different articles of men. One of them was, what is it? Is it New York Magazine? I'm not sure. One of those popular magazines or newspapers was reporting it too. But if I find them, I'll put them in the description. Jesus, I can't talk. I'm getting tongue-tied. Below, but I'm going to check on that. Is there a link with the virus and the male genitalia, the male part? Two of Pentacles, the Magician, and then Two of Wands. To me, that's saying it's a possibility. And then King of Wands is reversed. So King of Wands, to me, this is a confirmation that there is something there, because King of Wands upright to me talks about, you know, the male energy, the masculine energy. The Magician too, this is kind of a masculine energy as well. So to me, it talks about the lack of the masculine energy, the lack of the copper energy down there, basically. So there's something there where the virus could possibly be messing with the male genitalia. Possibly. Because we have twos right here. We have 2 of Pentacles. If I can get it off the table. And then we have 2 of Wands here. The Magician talks about creation too. So to me, there is a link between the virus and the ability to create. Because if a male can't get it up, they can't create a baby. It's just what it is. Even to get a donation of his seed and stuff, even to do that, you still have to get up and, you know, I don't know if they have some sort of surgery where you can go you know, in below and try to get, you know, the DNA to make a baby. I'm not sure how that stuff works. Maybe that's in the future. But even in order for a man to donate, he still has to be able to get it up. So to me, this talks about creation right here. 2 of Pentacles reverse talks about imbalance. So to me, that's a clear sign of there's an imbalance when it comes to the male sexual energy. There's something there. 2 of Wands is also saying to me that they need to do more research, and there may be more research coming out from overseas, because that's where I saw that original study. They published it, they translated it to English, but the original study was done overseas. To me, this is the overseas card. When it comes to the male genitalia and the virus, the male penis, what's going on? Magic prayer. So what I'm being drawn to, what I heard is the divine feminine. This is the divine feminine bringing things back into balance. So what I'm hearing is that one of the reasons that the virus was here was to balance out the toxic masculine energy. Because to me, this is a divine feminine right here. Balancing things out. I don't know why this is being put into my head, but it's talking about the issues with toxic masculinity, with trafficking, with abuse, taking away women's rights. You know, just the treatment of women. And when you come after the divine feminine, the divine feminine does not play. She does not play. She will balance things out for you if you don't know how to balance yourself. And what I'm hearing is, and she's fixing the imbalance. So what I'm being reminded of is, I had a dream, right? When I was meditating and I was asking, because I was just curious, I was wondering, I was like, what's going on with this virus? After I read the article and the actual peer-reviewed study, I prayed and I meditated and I said, God, show me what's going on with this virus and the men and their genitalia and their penises. And I went to sleep, and the dream that I had was I was at a hospital, and I was at a maternity ward, and there were women in a row like this, and there was like beds like this, 1, 2, 3. There were like, I think it was like 6 beds on this side, 6 beds on that side. I'm not sure the number, but they were all giving birth at the same time. Like, everyone was giving birth. It wasn't like they had a private room. But the thing is that I was told in the dream that the women had to use donors because there were not enough men being born due to the virus. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist or anything like that. Like, I didn't even think of this before I went to bed. But I find it interesting that I had that dream. And it was like they only took donations from men that met certain criteria. They had to meet certain mental, spiritual, and physical criteria to pass on their genes, because it was like a balance. Like the tables had turned. It was like the tide had turned into there were more women being born than men. And I do have prophetic dreams. So I don't know what that meant, but I feel like in the future we're going to have even more women than men. because the toxic masculinity is taking away. Mother Nature is taking away the toxic masculinity. That's what my dream was. I sat there and I said, what's going on? And then I left it alone. I went to bed. And then that's the dream that I had. Less males being born. So, I don't know. Angels, give me a card to confirm. And to me, the people that are making all these decisions, the people that are doing all this dirt and trying to suppress women, they know what's coming. And they're scared. They know what's coming. I saw a lot of diversity in that room too. Hint, hint, wink, wink, if you know what I mean. So the people, the powers that be, they know what's coming. That's why they're doing all this, because they know what's about to happen. But they can't stop it. They can't stop it. They can try to put blockages in the way, but Mother Nature, she's always gonna win. Because she's more powerful than they are. The divine feminine is more powerful. Look for a sign. And what I'm being drawn to right here, not only, I'm being drawn to this phallic symbol in his hand. It's saying look for a sign. The signs are out there. The reports that are coming out, these men are not making this up. They're not crazy. And then we have the lightning rod in his hand. There's something there. It is what it is. All right, when will the pandemic be officially over? I'm hearing we're already going into the endemic phase. Page of Swords. And then 10 of Swords too. So the page only has one sword in his hand, but to me this is quick. Swords are quick. To me, we can expect within the next few weeks, few months for us to be fully in the endemic phase. To me, that's what I'm thinking. Will there be another global pandemic? If you watched my video about the monkeypox, I was saying that I asked the question as to why we keep having these diseases, these pandemics over the centuries, over the years. And Spirit was saying, like, we keep going through these phases because of the vibration of humanity and the lack of cleanliness worldwide, a lack of standards worldwide. But I'm going to ask a question. Do we have another pandemic on the horizon? Do we have another? Nine of Wands. To me, that's a confirmation that we're going to keep going through this until we fix the root of the problem, which is the vibration, the cleanliness standards, the healthcare standards. This is a stubborn person. Until we learn, until we as a humanity, as a species learn, it's going to keep happening. It's going to keep happening over and over and over again. But like I'm saying, I feel like it's going to keep happening in phases. All right, let's see. Another card was coming up. Like I was saying, what did I just say in my speech? If you watch the monkeypox video, what did I say? Humanity not helping each other. The vibration. Us not coming together. Us not being united. Maybe this next one will be the one where we finally get it. But the angel said yes. I'm hearing it might not be as bad as C0v because of the leadership we're going to have at that time. And it's sad that, I mean, whether people live or die depends on who's in leadership. But that's the state of the world. Last question was, what can we learn from C0v? But I feel like I already answered that question about us. We need to come together, raise the vibration, get into that 4D, 5D consciousness. 4D, 5D. 4D is about service, serving each other, serve humanity. helping people out. And until we shift in that, we're gonna keep going. We're in, not we're, but most people are in the 3D, operating in 3D. 3D is you worried about yourself. You know, you're out to pursue your own happiness. That's what you're worried about. You're trying to achieve wealth for yourself, fame for yourself, glory for yourself. You're motivated. Your ego is motivated by self. So we have to shift from 3D to 4D, and the shift is already happening. The earth is doing that for us. Because if you haven't heard, there's something going on with the alignment of the earth and the poles. So whether people like it or not, there's going to be a shift. Because Mother Earth, she waits for no one. Okay? She'll do it for us if we can't do it for ourselves. I'm hearing repeating the past mistakes. What I'm being pulled to is what I just got reminded of is like Lemuria. I don't know if I pronounced it right. I'm sorry. In Atlantis, like repeating the same mistakes that they did. I'm going to do a reading on that, so watch out for that. But it's repeating. It's cycles. It goes in cycles and cycles and cycles. So we have to end the cycle at the end of the day. All right, so this concludes the reading about the virus. As I said in the beginning, everything said during this reading is all alleged and for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a doctor and I don't diagnose. If you want to book a reader with me, my link is in the description box below. If you want to check out my gemstone jewelry, you can find it in my store. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this reading. Y'all be blessed.